Hello, I'm Wayne DeBay, AIFD, and this is my wife.
And I'm Peggy DeBay, and welcome to Creations at the Flower Nook.
It's springtime at the Flower Nook.
We've got some great new artists this season, 2019. Come in and take a look at them.
Hi, I'm Melody Lambrecht. I'm with Happy Pots and Gourds, and I hand paint gourds and flower pots. I like working with the little gourds, the small gourds. I like creating small little animals. I like to create chickens and ducks and frogs. I grow a lot of the gourds. A lot of the small gourds we actually grow in the wild, and we go out and we harvest gourds. The small round ones, they're called buffalo gourds, but you can find them in ditches along the country roads, and I get a lot of my small gourds that way. And then, like I said, I grow gourds. I grow all kinds of gourds, big ones, the bottle gourds, the kettle gourds. If I'm somewhere and I see gourds that I like, I will buy gourds. I love gourds. Oh, absolutely. You have to be very, very careful. And I do have a license with both. And each item that I do with each sports team, I have to get approved before we can actually sell it here in the store. So feel comfortable knowing that I do have a license. Yes, yes, I call it chocolate covered cherries by Melody, and that is something I have always made, chocolate covered cherries from as far back as I can remember, but just recently I decided that I was going to perfect them and make them a little different. So I think I've got them almost to the point where I want them to be, and anyway, I use the best quality of ingredients that I can find. And I'm having a lot of fun with it, and the cherries seem to be pretty successful. People seem to really enjoy them. I do. I'm very careful with that. I'm real cautious about labeling the cherries with all the ingredients. It's important, and I do keep in touch with K-State and go by their guidelines. I'm going to be busy this summer. I've started plants in the house, and guess what kind of plants? Gourd plants. So I'm going to be planting a lot of gourds and anything that I can do with gourds. And I think I'm going to make some Easter baskets out of my gourds for Easter. And then I'm going to be painting some bunny gourds, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to make some little bunnies with the small gourds and crafting them with clay. I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
You know, the month of March often gets talked about being the color of green. Everything is green in March. I'm sure it's because of St. Patrick's Day, but some of my favorite flowers are green, and I wanted to talk about them a little tonight. The bells of Ireland, which you see here in the garden when they grow, these can get to be 24 inches long, so they make a really wonderful display. There's often a debate whether this is a flower or a stem, but this is actually the little calyx go up and down the stem, and what this bell, which is how they get their name, hides is inside here there is a little spike, and it gets to be sharp. So you do want to watch it as you work with it, because each one of these bells hides a little spike with it. But they grow and they curve with the sun, so it makes it very fun with what you can do in a floral arrangement. Another one of my favorite, whether we debate whether it's a flower or a stem, is green trick. And you get a long sturdy stem, works great in a floral arrangement, but the end gets to be kind of a fuzzy ball, like a grass shape of a process. Both of these, the trick and the bells of Ireland, say to bring people good luck. So they're put into arrangements like maybe a new job or a new house or something kind of fun like that. So two very fun flowers. Now, the green spider, nothing new. Spiders come in assorted colors. This is a natural green. They are in the daisy family. The thing that I want to show you about a spider, and I like to bring this when we have the Girl Scout troops come, is this. Each one of these flowers have got inside here hundreds and hundreds of petals. So when you start to dissect a spider, you can just roll and roll and roll, and it keeps on coming. And there truly are, they say, up to 100 different individual petals inside of a spider. So I always let a Girl Scout troop, when they come in, let the girls just dissect it with the he loves me, he loves me not. But when you get way down to the inside, and it keeps on going, and it keeps on going. I want to show you the inside of it because it's just very interesting. And look how many petals are shaking off of that. We haven't got anywhere near half of it done. But there, solid, looks like it's the center, but when you start shaking that is even more baby petals. And you can bring that off with probably another 50. So it's a very fun kind of a lesson in botany to look inside this spider, Mom. Well, let's see what Wayne does with this today.
Today we're going super green. It's March, and green is one of those colors of the month, one of those predominant colors of the month. Hopefully it will be turning green outdoors, but we have green inside. So I thought I'd work with a few of my favorite things. I have this wonderful hand-blown green vase to work with. I picked out some of the little gold dust aspidistra, which I like. It's a very narrow little aspidistra. It has a nice line to it. And so I think I'm just going to try to fill this vase with gold dust and have it kind of coming out all the way around. There's always a lot of new and fun products showing up on the market, and while the gold dust isn't particularly new, it's one of those things that's a little more seasonal, and I truly enjoy being able to work with product as it becomes available through the season. We get to change it up a little that way. I have this great Italian ruscus. I just really like the line and the sturdiness of this particular green. This is one of those greens that you probably could leave out on the table and it would be there in a week. It has great vase life, incredible vase life, and it has, like I said, it's got a very nice line to it. So we're just going to play with that line a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little berry on it, but at this point in time I don't see that we've got any of the berries. Peggy showed you these beautiful bells of Ireland earlier, and we're going to work with them a little bit. I'm going to cut this one down a little. And the tips, they're geotropic. They will grow to the light, and the tips keep on growing. So sometimes I like to pinch the very top of that tip out so that it doesn't grow quite as much. A little messy here, but we'll get through this, I think. And if not, well, maybe it's just controlled chaos. Someone told me that the other day, that their world was controlled chaos, and I thought, I can relate to that sometimes. Also brought some of these beautiful green trick, and this really is, it's in the carnation family. It's a dianthus, and I love them. They're hardy, and they, again, will last an incredibly long time. We've got these beautiful green buttons, little button mums. The mum family is so diverse and so many colors and so many textures available to it or in it. And I think soon we're going to get enough mass in this vase Part of it, when you're designing in a vase and you have a fairly large opening, it takes more material to fill it, especially if you're going to move it any distance. If you're just doing it in place, you probably can get away with using a little less material. But in our business, where we would design something and then deliver it, it needs to be fairly sturdy as it goes out the door. And that's what I hope to achieve before I'm done here. Green on green on green, it's just verdant. I've never seen Ireland, but they always talk about the Emerald Isle and how green it is. I have family in Portland, Oregon, and Portland is a very green city, literally just beautiful shades of green, from the deciduous shrubs and trees to the conifers, and every shade of green in between. I'm going to say I should have another one. And there we are. Let's see how I'm doing. I'm going to turn this and face it to me so that I can get a little more feel of where I'm at with this process. I'm going to come in and put some more of the beautiful bells in the background. Bring it forward and tuck it down into the vase. And I'm getting fuller. It's getting harder to get a stem in there. But it also then begins to tighten up the whole arrangement. Got a couple more of these green trick I'm going to tuck in. Sometimes flowers are like wayward children. You just have to be fairly firm with them to get their attention and make them do what you want them to. Which is really silly. Any parent knows that kids will do what they want, and it's always a trick. A little bit more of the green of the Milky Way aspidistra. And I always give things a fresh cut when I work with them. Even though they may have just been recently cut, it's force a habit to do that fresh cut. That way I know that they will have an open end on the stem, a good vascular system. They'll be able to drink and continue to grow and bloom and do what I need them to. And I think we are almost there. At the end, we're about to get this beautiful monstrosity put together. I'm Flowerman Wayne DeBay, and this is the green month of March.
The name of the book is Life Poetry, Pieces of Reality. And I created the name Life Poetry myself. I kind of had it in a dream, because what I was writing wasn't really poetry. It was like life stories about people, but I would be writing it in a poetry format. So that's what I came up with. Back in 1999 really was when I wrote the first one. What would happen is I would meet them, and then I would go home, and then I'd wake up about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just have to get up and write about them. And so, because we were usually on tour up and down California, Nevada area, what I ended up doing was writing it down, and I don't know, it was just like impulse to do it. So I would write it down, and then I would type it up, and then I would print it out and put it in on some nice paper. Mostly it was a light brown, and I would frame it. So our next tour around, I would see them, and then I would give it to them as a gift. That's how it started. So many of the individuals that are in the book already have a signed copy. It can be purchased on Amazon.com. It can also be purchased on BarnesandNoble.com. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting a lot about the environment, people's thoughts, and how to fix what's going on in the world today. But I also I'm still writing about individuals as well. But I'm a homebody, so I have to make myself get out and be amongst the people and share their lives with them, and that's hard for me to do because I just love being at home. I hope it doesn't take as long, but it just depends on who I meet and what I feel and if I really receive anything to write.
Thank you for watching Creations at the Flower Nook. We hope that you'll join us again. Please stop in and check out these creations and more at the Flower Nook at 208 East Iron, downtown Salina.
See you soon.